So yeah, welcome back to today's video, and today's video is very simple. Like you saw in the title, I want us to look at how to make sure your cucumber bear more fruit. So this is my cucumber farm, and I've been harvesting from this plant for almost 6 weeks now, and it's still bearing fruit, you can see. And the variety I am using is the English cucumber. Some people also call it Chinese cucumber. And so I just wanted to look at what you can do if you are into cucumber farming, what you can do, or some practices that you can do or you can cultivate to make sure you get your cucumber bear more fruit. Okay, so the first thing you need to do when you start your before you even start planting is to prepare your land. And then in the preparation of your land, you can add some manure before you start planting. But if you don't do that, the moment your cucumber starts sprouting, 2 weeks after it starts germinating, you need to apply your first manure. And the one I used was a poultry manure. I have some here, and I apply it as a top dress, and that's 2 weeks after it started germinating. Then after your first application of manure, you make sure you keep watering your cucumber, especially if you are using the irrigation system. But if you are not using irrigation system, then that means you're going to rely so much on the rain to do your watering. But cucumber plants likes a lot of water, so you make sure you apply enough water, you give the plant enough water to be able to grow and grow well. Then the moment you see that your plant start bringing out or shooting up this how do you even call this thing, these ropes or what, these tiny ropes, usually during the 4th week you start seeing this tiny ropes coming out. That means your cucumber is preparing to start flowering and start fruiting. After the 4th week, you will see the flowers coming. That is when you need to start applying your foliar fertilizers. Okay, from week 6 you should start seeing fruits on your cucumber. Okay, so during the week 6 you need to apply your second fertilizer, and that is the manure. You can still apply the manure again the second time, because cucumber plants are high feeders. They feed a lot because they produce a lot. So if you want the plant to produce more for you, that means you need to get the plant more manure to produce more for you. So the moment you start seeing the flowers, you need to also start applying your fertilizers, the foliar fertilizers. Okay, so you can get any liquid fertilizer. If you are doing organic farming, then you need to get organic foliar fertilizer. But if you are not actually into organic here, maybe you are practicing the two at the same time, then you can use any inorganic fertilizer, those foliar fertilizers, any foliar fertilizer. So we have the Abapa, we have the Super Grow, we have so many foliar fertilizers that you can get. When you do that, it helps the flowers to be stable and also the plant to produce more fruits for you. That's one thing that you can do for your cucumber to bear more fruits. Okay, and that is not all. After the 6th week, when you apply your foliar fertilizer, the 3rd week you can do reapplication of manure again. Okay, and sometimes there are certain symptoms that your cucumber shows that tells you that it needs certain kind of nutrients. Okay, let me give you a typical example. Whenever you see your cucumber leaves, the tip of your cucumber leaves turning into white, what it means or it indicates is that it's lacking potassium. Okay, so you need to get potassium, dissolve it into water, and then apply it. Some you can spray it on the leaves, and some you have to apply it in the soil. So when you visit any agro shop, they will know the kind of chemical to give you or the kind of nutrient to give you to apply. So whenever you see that the tips, we have so many, when the leaves can give you so many signals. Okay, whenever you have fungal attacks, it reflects on the leaves. When you have pest attack, it also reflects on the leaves. You also have nutritional deficiency, that also reflects on the leaves. So whenever you see the tips of the leaves turning white, it means you are lacking potassium, and so you need to get some and apply quickly to revitalize or to provide the plant with the necessary nutrient that it needs. Okay, now after you apply all those nutrients, you don't leave the plant to survive by its own. You still need to keep your watering constantly, morning and evenings. Okay, so early morning and evening from 3:30 4 you can do your watering. Okay, so then the next thing you need to consider is your constant application of nutrients. Okay, it doesn't mean because you have applied your first, second and third fertilizer you should stop, because the cucumber plant is supposed to bear continuously for 90 days. Okay, the whole cycle is for 90 days. The planting, flowering and fruiting is for 90 days, so you should be able to try and sustain the plant for that number of days, that 90 days. So after your third application of fertilizer, you should keep on doing this. What I do is that I apply foliar fertilizer once in every week. Whenever I'm doing any spraying, whether pesticide or any spraying at all, I add the foliar fertilizer to it. I don't wait for my plant to lack nutrients before I start applying those fertilizers. I do that every. So the more you do it, the more your plants keep producing flowers and also produce more fruits for you. Now another thing you should be doing is to consider pollination in your farm, especially in the dry season when the weather is very hot. You need to be very careful in application of certain pesticide. You see, because the weather is very hot, you hardly get those natural pollinators coming around to pollinate your flowers. So I think that is how those are the things that you need to be doing to make sure your cucumber bear more fruit. Cucumbers are high feeders, so you need to keep giving your plant more nutrients to make sure it gets enough nutrients to produce more fruits and more flowers and more fruits for you. So I think that is it for the nutrient application. You need to consider nutrient your first application, second, third is very important, and continue application of nutrient, especially the foliar. You need to keep on doing that. So before we continue, our farmland is still available for those who want to go into farming, and you can do maize, you can do beans, you can do cassava, you can do yam, you can do plantain. But one advantage of our location is the availability of market for cassava. We have been able to visit the cassava factory close by. It's about 1.5 drive from where the land is, and they have assured us they're going to buy from our farmers. Yeah, so please, this offer is for those who are coming for our farmland. Please, if you are not coming for our farmland, please do not contact me for any contact. I beg you, please. This offer is for those who are coming for our farmland to do cassava. Okay, so we are encouraging a lot of people to do cassava there because the market is just close by. You can be able to sell your cassava in whenever it's ready, and they said any quantity we produce, they are going to buy from us. So why won't you take advantage of that? Get in touch with me. My contact will be on the screen and also in the description section. Call me or WhatsApp me, and then we'll talk about that, how you can go about to get your land. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, let me know which aspect of the video you enjoyed most, and if you're also a cucumber farmer, you feel like sharing your experience with us, do that in the comment section, and we'll see you in the next video.